Welcome to STEAM for Tweens. I'm Miss Natalie from the Hardin County Public Library. This week we're going to make a bracelet. We're going to use scrap material from packages and yarn, and we're going to weave a name. To make it easy on yourself, I would suggest that you take a paper and you write down the word that you want on your bracelet. So I'm just going to take my name. Now there are different ways that you can do certain letters, like your A, you can write it down like this, or you can make it like that. This is going to be the easier way. So I would suggest that in the beginning, you just make it easier yourself. And you choose the easier shape of letters. Like with an I, you can choose to do with a dot or without. I'm going to do it this time without a dot on the I. So the other way would be if you write it down, you already have a visual of how you're going to weave your yarn. So I have 8. It's important that you know how many pieces of yarn you have. You're going to see me do this a lot of times. This is to make sure that my wires don't get crossed. And then you start with your other color. Then you start with your other color. The start is the most difficult. I'm putting a piece like this at the back, and then I start going over my gold and over the piece in the back. Pull it tight. Oh. You have to go here and do this a few times. Now, if you have a short name like Anna, the prettiest is your name is in the center. So either you make your plastic real short, or you wrap it around a few times until, for Anna, I would like start here. So you wrap it around here, and here is where you start with your letter. Now Natalie, it's 8 letters, so I'm going to start right here. You can always cut off a piece at the end if it's not really centered. Okay, so how it works. So with the N, I want this piece to be visible. So I'm going to move them backwards. I'm going to wrap it around. I'm going to do it 2 times, I think. Yes, 2 times. And now I'm going to have to make this sloped line. So that means that these 2 top ones are going to, no, I'm going to take 3 top ones are going to stay visible, and these are going to be hidden. So black is visible, the white here is going to be covered. So I'm going to cover these. I'm going to move 2 back, and I'm going to take 2 new ones. Make sure that they stay in order. And I'm going to cover those. Pull it tight. I'm going to move that one back. I'm going to take a new one. Going to cover the rest. I always keep my finger here so my blue wire doesn't unravel. Okay, so the top one goes back. Now, to be honest, the letters N and K and what else? Z, those are the really hard ones. Put them like that. You're already going to get a little visual about how it's going to look like. Now for my last line, I'm going to flip them all back and go under the 2 times. And then to finish the N, I'm going to put them all back. Make sure they are in order. And go over them. I'm going to make 3 lines between the letters. 1, 2, 3. And this is how you make a letter. Now for the next A, remember I'm not going to make this one. I'm going to cross them out. I'm going to make an A that way. So that means putting it all back, going under there twice. Then this line and this line needs to be visible. That means that the 2 top ones are going back. The 2 below that are going to be covered, so they go here. The next 2 are going to be visible, so they're going to be flipped back, and these are going to be covered too. And I'm going to go over them 3 times. 2, 3. And then the last piece of the A is going to be all visible. So I flip everything back and go under them twice. And when I flip them all back and put them all in order, I have a letter A. So remember, between the letters I'm going to do 3. And A. For the T, same principle. So this line is going to be visible. I'm taking 2 and flipping them back. The rest is hidden. So I'm covering them with blue. I'm doing that, let's see. Oh, yeah. 2 times, 3 times. And then in the middle, everything is visible. So you flip everything back, go around twice. You flip these back. But not these, because they have to stay visible. One, Now, this is going to start cramping up real bad. If you want to take a break, make sure that you have like a clothespin or something laying around, which you can pin on here so you can rest for a while and it doesn't come loose. I did 3 in between the letters. N-A-T. Then for the H, everything is visible. So 2. Then this and this will be covered, only a line in the middle. So since I have 8, I'm going to do 3 on top that are going to be covered, 2 in the middle that are going to stay visible, and 3 at the bottom. So if you have more wires because your yarn is thinner or your plastic is wider, you're going to have to change those numbers. And I'm going to do this 3 times. Oh, everything is visible. So you flip everything back. You go over under them twice. You flip everything back. Make sure they're in the same order. And 3 times. Oh, other way around. Oh. Now to finish, make sure you have almost as much covered on the end as on the beginning. Cut off your yarn, and I usually finish by going over my finger, putting it under and through, and pulling it tight. Now put a little school glue on the yarn at both ends so they don't come loose. And you can cut this off. Make sure you don't cut your yarn, and the same on the other side. And you made yourself a bracelet. And when it's all dry, like this one, you can wrap it around your wrist. And you're gonna need someone's help. And make a knot and tie it. I hope you had fun creating your bracelets. We do have other books in the library about creating bracelets. If you don't have the material yourself to make these bracelets, you can come and get a grab bag at the Elizabethtown branch. If you prefer to pick it up at the Radcliffe branch, email me and I will have one sent there. I hope I see you next week.